guys, it is Carl Brown for GL365 We are here to finally tackle one of the biggest hits of the 80s. We're gonna learn how to do Tainted Love by Soft Cell. So this is obviously a massive, massive hit back in the day. Not a guitar track, obviously. So I'm kind of just doing how I would do it if I was gonna do it in a cover band or something like that. Just trying to emulate what they're doing with all the keys and the bass and all that stuff, just by moving these octaves around and stuff like that. So it's just really a couple of progressions. There's a couple of odd things in it harmonically that I'll kind of bring to your attention, but it's pretty straightforward besides that. Now, before I get into it, please subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and ring that notification bell so you know it's a new video. You can like and comment and all the good stuff, and really helps me out on YouTube and stuff. Trying to get a lot of content out to you guys, so please help me out and meet me halfway and just kind of support the lessons and watch them and comment on all that good stuff. And another great way to support me is join my Guitar Academy. So you'll see a link to that in the description. That's my online guitar school. It contains all my courses, from complete beginner courses to more advanced courses on technique, improvisation, ear training, theory, guitar tone, you name it. So check that out. You get a free 7-day trial by clicking that link. All right, let's jump into this now. I'm in standard tuning here, and we're gonna start out with this intro to just kind of hitting this G minor chord. And then we hit it again and have a really prominent octave melody that happens on the keys. So, which was based around an E minor or G minor arpeggio, but they kind of go up here as well too, to the flat six. So we're gonna just start here. We're gonna play this full bar at the 3rd fret, and then 5th fret on the A and the D. So just kind of hit that real quick, just a dun dun. Just hit it a few times. They do that at the very beginning of the song, and then it's the riff the whole time after that. So then we start the riff by doing that same thing. So after you hit that, see how I'm killing the chord each time? Trying to recreate that kind of staccato feel that I got from the keys. And then from here, we're gonna do up at this B flat. So we're gonna play the 6th fret there on the low E string and the 8th fret there on the D. So what I'm doing is I want to hear those two notes, but I want this string in the middle, the A string, to be muted. And I'm doing that by using the bottom part of my index finger to mute that. And it's also, the index finger is also muting the G, B, and the high E as well too. Isn't that fancy? All right, so we got this. So what you're gonna do then is take this octave shape and move everything down one string. So now we have the 6th fret there on the A and the 8th fret there on the G. So that's still doing all the muting, the index finger, but it's also now muting the E string by just kind of reaching and touching the bottom of that string. Octaves are one of the best things to work on when you want to work on your muting. So, because there's a lot of strings you gotta mute. And the index finger is doing all of it. So you can just hear that one string there. I had this in front of it, and you got an octave. So we have this, we'll hit each one of those twice, and then go back to the 6th fret octave you just left from the B flat. Play those 2 notes, and then move it up to the C octave 2 frets higher. So move both notes up 2 frets. So we have this. Just repeat that. So that's the main riff of the track. Run away, I've got to get away. All right, so when you in the intro, you basically hear that, and then that riff twice before the vocals come in, and then sometimes I feel I've got to run away. So you do it 3 times, and then in the middle of that riff, that verse, there's a little transition. So after you've played it, after the vocals come in, you play that riff 3 times, and you're gonna hear 2 chords, like a little transition. And the first time he plays it, it's a G5 chord to a B flat major chord. And then from then on out, it's a full G major to a full B flat no, to a B flat major. The first time you hear it played though, he kind of builds into this. Now there's a reason why he's doing that, because we're hitting a G minor chord throughout the main riff of the song. And then he has a little transition that uses the G major chord. And then the bridge section is changes to that as well. So that's what's unique about this, is it keeps going back and forth between using that G minor and then the G major chord. But the first time you hear that transition, he doesn't hit you with it yet. He doesn't hit you until you've heard it already in the bridge. And then every time after that, that transition uses the full G major chord, since I guess your ears are used to it. So, but we're gonna start, so when we're playing this first verse, you play that riff. So after the vocals come in, you play that riff three times. And then it's gonna go to this G power chord, which is just the root and fifth of a key. So we have the third fret there on the low E, fifth fret on the A and the D. And then we're gonna take it to a B flat major chord. Now there's a reason why I'm using this B flat major chord. You're gonna see that I'm just kind of keeping it consistent from when we get to the bridge. There's a reason why I'm using this one, but so let's just go ahead and use it here too. So I know I barre with my pinky. It's pretty comfortable. It allows you to keep your wrist straight, but you can do like that or like this. But regardless, it's the first fret on the low E, on the A string, and then the third fret there on the D, G, and the B is barred. So however you want to do that, it's more comfortable for me to do it like that. So after you've done that, and then back to the riff again. And so then the verse is 3 more times of that riff. And then the end of the verse is a transition. It pretty much sounds like just a low root note, just like the G up to the, so that third fret on the low E up to the 6th fret on the low E. Now you can play it as a power chord maybe. But they really kind of keep it subdued, because what they're doing, they're building up to the bridge section, which goes to that full G major. So they're not kind of giving it away by playing that yet. So anything part of the chord. So keep it very minimalistic. And then they have this. Once I run, now I run from you. This tainted love you gave me, I give you more, can get it. Take my tears and that's not nearly all. Tainted love, tainted love, don't touch me. Whatever. All right, so now that is going to be full G major now. So that bridge section, we've gone from the G minor to a uplifting. So it's that same G minor chord we were doing before, but now add the 4th fret there on the G string in front of the bar. And then here is not so staccato. Let these notes ring out. Once I run to you. I'm probably botching these lyrics because I don't actually know them. Once I run to you. Now here, we're gonna go to this B flat major, because the voice leading of the keys on the actual track is, you hear that actual voice leading like that, not this. It doesn't go up, so that we're kind of trying to stay true to the actual voice leading, even if it wasn't on the guitar. So it sounds better to just do this. Once I run to that same B flat major chord that we did earlier. Now just take this chord and move it up to the 6th fret. But when you do that, add the 6th fret on the low E string in there as 2. So it's an E flat major chord, but it has a B flat in the bass. So the 5th is in the bass. So I have this. Once I ran to you, now I run from you. This tainted love you've given. And then we're gonna end it here with a kind of holding a C minor chord. So just this bar across 5 strings at the 3rd fret, and then from the A string across, and then the 5th fret on the D, 5th on the G, 4th on the B. And then we're back to the riff. Love, that's just for the chorus. They just play it, that riff twice, and then it gets back to the verse. And now the verse, the second verse, is like we talked about before. It's pretty much the exact same thing, but there's after you played it 3 times and you have that little transition, 2-chord transition, and then it goes back to playing it 3 times again. That 2-chord transition, instead of just being a G5 chord, it's now gonna be a full G. So it sounds like this. So 3 times of this riff. Right here. And back. And once again. Kind of the end of that verse is just really a single note bass line. And then same bridge. This tainted love you give it all the Lord can give. Take my tears and that's not. And or to the last chorus, which is a little bit longer, right? So after you it's got that same B, a G to full G to D flat. Full G major to B flat major, transition and back. So when you hear that little transition, it's just the full major chord there. It's really fun to play. It's got a cool little groove to it. There's certain parts of it that are hard to sing, that the vocal phrasing is weird to sing over that. Especially if you're not good at singing while you're playing guitar like me, so that's why I bailed out on those parts. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's a fun track. It's one of those, you just hit this riff, even though the song is not on guitar. If you start, everybody knows exactly what you're playing, so it's pretty cool. So, win-win. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you again soon for GuitarLessons365.com.